Hey there everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video guys, and in today's video I'm gonna be giving you guys a tour of my setup. So basically I just got like my first ever payment from YouTube. So I just upgraded my whole setup, and basically I bought a new microphone which I'm using right now. And by the way guys, this is like not a very good microphone. This is not like a dynamic microphone. This is just a normal condenser microphone, and for some reason I have to hold this thing real close to my mouth so that you guys would be able to hear me. And but this thing is like pretty good. I mean, as you guys can see that you don't really hear any noise in the background like you used to in my older videos. And I also bought a new webcam which I'm using right now to record this video. And I also upgraded my whole computer. So in today's video I'm gonna be showing you guys everything, like the whole setup. And by the way guys, without going any further into the video, guys, I'm not very rich, so this is not like where I show you my computer which has like an RDX or something like that. But like it's pretty good actually. I got this computer for a pretty good deal, and it's actually pretty good for the price. So without wasting any time, let's get right into the video. And by the way guys, like I don't really have someone here so that like they would record me while I talk to you guys and show you my setup. So I'm gonna be using my camera and I'm gonna be recording the whole setup, so you guys would not be able to see me. Like, I will be holding the phone like this and I'm gonna be recording the whole thing. So yeah, let's get right into the video. Okay, let's go. So this is the setup guys, and by the way guys, I'm recording this video by myself and I'm really sorry for like the shake in the video. Like, I know guys, my hands are shaking right now, so like the video is not gonna be very smooth. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. And by the way guys, I'm really sorry about this horrible mess of all these like cables right here. I don't really know how do I set this thing up. So yeah, I mean, I'll deal with that later. So you guys can just ignore it for now. And I'm gonna get to the PC at the end. First off, I'm gonna be talking about the peripherals. So this is the keyboard that I'm using right now. And this is a mechanical keyboard. This is fully mechanical. This is not semi-mechanical. And this thing has also got some really nice RGB, as you guys can see. This has got some really nice modes, and you can also make your own if you want. And this thing is like, as I already said earlier, this thing is fully mechanical. This thing has got like blue switches, and I don't really know what's the name of this thing. This is like some cheap Chinese brand, and I got this keyboard in use for only 1800 Pakistani rupees. And like, this thing is actually pretty good for the price, because I mean, as you guys can see, this is fully mechanical, and the whole frame of this is made out of metal. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. And this is the mouse that I'm using. This is basically just a normal mouse, except this thing has got RGB. And I ordered this thing online for only 350 Pakistani rupees. And the mouse pad is like, it's also just a normal mouse pad. I got this thing for 120 Pakistani rupees, which is less than a dollar. And this is the microphone that I'm using. This is the same microphone that I was using in the intro of this video. And this is not like a very good microphone, but it's actually pretty good for the price. And this is a condenser microphone. This thing has got no noise cancellation, but as I used this microphone earlier in the intro, so yeah, you guys can see that this thing works pretty good. And I got this thing online for 1700 Pakistani rupees, including the delivery charges. And this is the webcam that I'm using right now. Yeah, by the way, the name of this microphone is SF666, and you guys can see that online if you want this. And this is the webcam that I'm using right now. This thing has also got an inbuilt microphone, but it's not very good. And this is a 720p webcam. I think this thing records in 1080p actually. Yeah, I think it's 1080p 30 fps. And I don't really know what's the name of this thing, because as you guys can see, like, there's literally nothing written on this webcam. And also this thing came like in a normal box, So yeah, I don't really know what's the brand or what's the name of this thing, but it works actually pretty good. As I already told you guys, this thing is 1080p 30 fps, and this is the monitor, this is the LED that I'm using right now, and this is the brand name, and this is the name of this LED. That's actually a pretty good name, pretty big name actually. And this thing is 1080p 60 hertz, and this thing has also got an inbuilt speaker. And yeah, this is actually also, I like this LED. So yeah, this is the these are the peripherals that I'm using right now. So now let's talk about the PC itself. Now the casing that I'm using is Thunder Avenger casing, and this is a pretty good RGB casing. And the fans in front, like the front panel fans, these are the Thunder Air Max 9 ARGB fans, and I got the casing for 5,000 Pakistani rupees and the front panel fans for 5,000 Pakistani rupees as well. And the motherboard that I'm using in this thing, it's an Asus H81MC. It's a 4th generation motherboard with 2 RAM slots, and it's a DDR3 motherboard. And I got the motherboard for 6,000 Pakistani rupees. And the processor that I'm using in this thing is an Intel Xeon E3 1226 V3, and this is a 4-core 4-thread processor, and I got this for 5,000 Pakistani rupees. And this is actually a pretty good processor. Like, this thing performs better than an i5 4th gen, and this is like the equivalent of an i7 4th gen in performance. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good deal for 5,000. So the GPU that I'm using in this PC, it's the same as my old one. It's AMD HD7950 Sapphire Boost Edition, and this is a 3GB GDDR5 GPU, and this is like a dual fan Sapphire Edition. So yeah, this is basically the same thing as an R9 280. If you know about that GPU, basically an R9 280 is just a rebranded HD7950, and this thing is actually pretty good. Like, I used to run Forza Horizon 4 on this thing at 1080p high settings, and it gave me like an average of 40 plus FPS all the time. So yeah, and the CPU cooler that I'm using right now is a Corsair Hydro Series H55. It's a liquid CPU cooler, and I got that thing in use for 3,500 Pakistani rupees. And by the way, guys, also that, like, everything that I showed you so far, except the microphone, webcam, and the mouse, everything I bought it either in used or refurbished condition. So yeah, and the RAM that I'm using this thing, I'm using two 8 GB sticks, and it's a 1600 megahertz RAM. So yeah, basically, this thing has like 16 gigabytes of memory, 1600 megahertz, and the power supply that I'm using in this thing, it's a Chinese power supply. The name of this PSU is, as you guys can see here, the Great Wall. And now I know, guys, if you like just read the name of this thing like sounds like a 5-star PSU. And I got this thing for 4,000 Pakistani rupees. And this is like a 500 watt 80 plus bronze PSU. And now this thing might sound bad to you, but actually this is a pretty good PSU. Like, this thing, as you guys can hear, probably you guys can probably hear my PC, that this power supply is really quiet. Like, the noise that you guys can hear right now, it's the noise uh, of these front panel fans. Like, let me just turn these off. Hold on a second, guys. So yeah, now the noise you can hear is of the PSU. So yeah, it's actually a pretty good PSU. Like, the GPU that I'm using right now, this is a 200 watt GPU. So yeah, basically this 500 watt PSU is running the 200 watt GPU. So yeah, not a bad deal for 4,000 Pakistani rupees. And by the way, guys, the I'm not using an SSD in this PC. I'm using a hard drive. The hard drive that I had earlier, that drive got corrupted. So I just pulled out the hard drive from my laptop, and I'm using that drive in this computer right now. It's a 250 GB hard drive, and I do have plans to buy an SSD later on when I get some money, because right now I don't really have any money. I spend all of it on these things which I just showed you guys right now. And by the way guys, the LED, I forgot to tell you guys the price of the LED. This thing cost me 9,000 Pakistani rupees, and this thing is 1080p 60 hertz. So like the whole setup cost me like around $200, 200 US dollars. So I mean this is a pretty good deal for 200 USD, because like as I already mentioned earlier, this thing can run Forza Horizon 4 at high settings and still manage to give you above 40 frames per second all the time. So yeah. And also guys, I forgot to show you guys one thing. As I already talked about these fans earlier, these are ARGB. So I also got like this ARGB, the fan controller with this thing. So there are like some pretty good modes in this thing. Let me show you guys. So if I just press like the individual colors, it's gonna change the color of the LEDs, and these are like the static RGB, and these are the animations. And as you guys can see, there are some pretty good animations. There are like, I don't know, there are a lot of modes in this thing. I cannot really show you guys each and every one in this single video. So yeah guys, anyways, as you guys can see, this thing looks pretty good. Actually, if you consider the price of this thing, this whole setup cost me like around $200. So yeah, it's actually pretty good for the price. So that's it for today's video, and if you guys like the video, please make sure to subscribe. Your subscription really helps me. And by the way guys, one of the reasons why I don't upload very frequently, English is not my native language, so it's pretty hard for me to speak in English. Like there are a lot of words which I cannot pronounce, and sometimes I just don't really know how to say a thing. Like I have that sentence made up in my mind, but I just can't translate that into English. And like as you guys can probably like feel right now that my tongue really, it's not like it's pretty hard for me to speak in English, but I try my best and I will probably get better at it as I record more and more videos. And I try to upload frequently. Like I personally want to upload daily, but guys, English is one of the reasons why I don't do that, because like whenever I'm recording a video, I'm like, man, I'm gonna record a video today and I will upload it. But when I start speaking, uh, I just don't know how to say something. I just don't know how to, like I have a sentence made up in my mind, but I just can't translate it into English. So yeah, at the end of the video, I'm just like, man, I'm not gonna record this video. I just messed it up. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that, guys. I try my best, and yeah, as I already said that I will probably get better at English as I record more videos. And this channel is not like focused only on gaming. I made this channel like we can react to stuff, we can play games, and stuff like that. You guys can tell me in the comment section below what should I make my next video about. I can react to things for you guys, I can like play a game. And by the way guys, like I've made a lot of videos related to modding, like the Need for Speed Most Wanted Remastered and the GTA 4 5 and all those modding videos. So I have said this a lot of times earlier, but let me make it clear guys, I'm not a modder myself. Like I used to make mods, but I've never made any mods of Need for Speed or GTA. I've only modded Just Cause 2. Like I only made my own mods of that game. So whenever like you guys are facing all these problems in the Need for Speed remaster, I don't really know what to do guys, because I'm not the owner of the mods. I literally know nothing how to make those mods. I just downloaded all the free mods from the internet. I've also mentioned this in the description of the video. In every modding video I've mentioned this thing. So I try my best to help you guys. I like search up on the internet and whatever, like through my limited knowledge, whatever knowledge I have, I try to help you guys. And so yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that I cannot really help you in that professional way because I'm not really a modder myself. So yeah, that's it for today's videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video.